Today, we are going to answer a DM I received over on Instagram about getting an LLC, getting payroll company, and getting a tax guy before you start your business. So if you're in the very, very early phases, this is definitely going to be something you want to listen to, because this is a common question I get about LLC, and is that's like something that you have to have when you're first getting started. And if you are looking for more business training in terms of sales, marketing, operations, then I have a full all access pass inside of Detailers Growth Academy down below, where I teach you on how to create your own website, how to optimize your own website with SEO, how to optimize your Google business profile, how to understand the numbers in your business, how to properly price your services, how to make sure you're profitable, and a bunch of other things that's on the business side of detailing. So if you're interested in that training, click the link down below and learn more about Detailers Growth Academy. So I got this DM on Instagram, and here's the full message. It says, I'm starting a detailing business in Central Florida. I just got an SUV all built up and have a ton of self-taught knowledge and experience, hands-on work, but little business knowledge, as this is my first business. I'm 28, so I've experienced and been a part of many positions in corporate and LLC career style business aspect, but never been the head honcho. I haven't started the LLC process and also don't have random customers lined up. However, I do have a bunch of word of mouth clients ready for service. I know that's a start, but I really try not to count on friends, family, or acquaintances as my only customers. The main question I have is, do you think I should pull the trigger on the LLC? I have a cheap and good tax guy and payroll company on standby to make myself legit when I do pull the trigger. Should I mention I have a full-time job and required to work 3 days out of the week and sometimes 4, but by choice? This will be a side gig for me, and I plan to start without LLC, but tax write-offs are huge, especially with startup. Okay, so that was a lot of context. To really just, the main question here is like, do I need an LLC right now? And here's the thing about those, okay? An LLC, depending on the state that you're in and such, but like it's a relatively affordable thing, right? You can file it online. Like you can technically do it yourself without no other software, and just file the state fee. Like depending on what state you're in, you might have different state fees. I think here in Texas, like $249, something like that. That no matter where you go, you're gonna have to pay the fee. And then if you're gonna go through like any other provider that does it for you, you're going to pay like their fee. So in total, you might pay like $500, $600, $700, just depending on your area and what you do, based on the service fee plus the state fee to file your LLC. So if you have the funds for that, I mean, go for it. Now, here's the thing, like there's kind of two levels that you can talk about here, because like, for instance, you do not need a payroll company. That is just simply not going to cut it out at all. Like you don't need a payroll company, especially if you're doing this as a side gig. Like it's not like it's going to be your main bread and butter, and you're not going to have like, even if you had $10,000 a month, like you still don't need a payroll company if it's just you. Yeah, you don't need a payroll company, nor do you need a tax guy, because for the most part, again, I don't know all the ins and outs of it because I don't need to know all that. In terms of, we have an accountant, but in terms of like your taxes, if you get an LLC and it's just you become a single member LLC, which is almost the same as just operating as a sole proprietor using your Social Security. So the good thing about an LLC is that you're able to get an EIN, which is an employee identification number. So whenever you open up your bank account, your business bank account, or do anything else that's business related that requires you to give your company like info in terms of like your ID number, you can use your EIN instead of your Social Security number, which is really good. So in that regard, it's beneficial because you can, from the very get-go, like just keep those things separate, because you don't want your Social Security number just floating around just in the public space like that, right? Granted, like you're gonna use it for like, maybe it's like to fill out a form or something, but even then, like you just don't want your Social Security number just out there and about, right? So in terms of the LLC, it's good because as it's the acronym is for Limited Liability Company. Now, so an LLC does give you protection. Now, there's a difference between being a single member LLC and then having like actual employees, because if you're the only person in the company, you don't have as much protection as you think, because it's still just you. Like whether you're a sole proprietor and it's just you, or you're an LLC and it's just you, it's almost the same thing because it's just you, right? So if you have the means, so I would not, just because you have an LLC doesn't really change anything in terms of what you're going to do with your business, right? So if you have the means to it, just so you can separate your business versus personal, and that you can just start on the good foot, if you on the right foot, if you have the money for it, or you go through the process and just do it yourself, it would help to create an LLC, because again, on that LLC, you get your EIN. So when you go open up your bank account, you give them the EIN. And maybe there's a few other things that you'll need, that you'll want to sign up for, that requires your EIN. So I think even like when you're running Google Ads to verify your business, I think one of the things that they ask for is an EIN or a social. But again, you'd want to supply your EIN. What's something that else I've signed up for that needed EIN? Anyways, it's just good to have, because it kind of shows that you're again on the like legal side of like filling out paperwork for certain things. It's cleaner to do it that way. Now, another caveat to having an LLC is that you have to have a separate account for your finances. So if you cannot run business expenses through your personal checking account, because that is what is referred to as piercing the corporate veil. And basically what that means is you don't necessarily need a business checking account. You can open up another personal account and strictly run your business finances and transactions through there. The key thing that you're looking for is separation between personal and business. You don't want these two convoluted, because you have your LLC that's supposed to protect you. And then something happens and they look into your business and they see, oh, hey, look, Jim over here is using his personal bank account to pay for business funds and using his business funds to pay for personal expenses. This LLC is no longer protecting you, because you are not following the guidelines of keeping everything in the business side. So what you would want to do is, let's say you open up, you get an LLC, you go and open up a business checking account or a personal, right? Or a personal. The main thing is separation, clean separation. And then, you transfer over $1,000, $500 from your personal to your new checking account for your business. Again, whether it's a business checking account or another personal account that is hard stop for business transactions, because you also have to think about that. So if you have to look into it and see what, how much it costs or what the process is, but it's relatively straightforward. Again, if you have the money for it, it's good just for it to be clean. And then and if you are going to get the LLC, just go open up a business checking account. No need, like, you can do it with a personal checking account. Just go open up the business checking account, because now you have the LLC, so you have your EIN, so you can do that. You definitely do not need payroll, because it's just yourself, and it's not like you're going to be it's not like you're going to be producing that much revenue from the get go. Like, you're not going to next month start generating $8,000 a month, which would be cool if you do, but I just don't think that's on the cards right now. And then you're really not going to have that much money to like pay yourself, like a sizable wage right now if you're just getting started, like just getting started. Not saying you can't, you're just getting started. So I would imagine your revenue and then the wages you pay out to yourself are going to be quite low, because you need to reinvest most of the money back into getting tools, products, training, marketing, what have you. I'm assuming you want to go down that route. So I wouldn't really worry about like payroll, because you're simply, and again, like, if you want to worry about tax write-offs, like how much do you plan on spending? Like, the misconception about tax write-offs is like, oh, well, I get to write this off. It's like, yeah, but like, it's not like it makes it any less of the price that you're paying for it, So like, oh, well, I'm just going to go and buy these 3 polishers. That way it's a write-off for this year. It's like, but like, do you need them? Because like, we're not playing with hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars here. Like, if you just want, you don't have to spend $250 for that polisher just to say it's a write-off. Like, that's simply not needed. The good thing about us detailers is that for the most part, everything that we do in our business is pretty low cost. There's not a major there's not a major tool or product that like holds a big weight in terms of cost in our operations. Maybe an extractor, but if you want to purchase like a $2,000 plus extractor. Okay, that might be expensive relative to our tools and products as detailers. Because I mean, if you go to lawn care, and let's just say just lawn care, just mowing lawns, just basic stuff, their push mowers are like 5,000 for one. Not including if you want to have like some, like it just, the cost difference between what us detailers go through relative to other fields, other verticals, other industries, it's a night and day difference. So, you know, like the most expensive thing that you can look at is maybe an extractor. If you go with a, you know, a 14, 18, 2,000, $3,000 extractor, a steamer that might be, you know, you can get the McCulloch 1385. That's $200, or the AquaPro steamer, which I think is like $500, or the Chief steamer that's like 1,000, I think. And of course, like if you add up all the polishers, like yeah, it'll get expensive, but like the DeWalt rotary, it's like 250, 300, or the Milwaukee DA polishers like 300 or 280. So these aren't like crazy numbers in terms of like, hey, you have to go pull a loan out and finance it because this mower is $95,000. And if you want to get this mower, then you need a bigger trailer. So go purchase a bigger trailer now. And hey, that's another, you know, $50,000. And hey, you have to also get it custom made to whatever. So go send it to a shop to get it welded and to get it like it. We're not at that level of what we need to purchase for tools and products. So if you're thinking about write-offs, it's like, well, like honestly, like if you're just getting started, $800 will probably get you everything that you need based on like just getting started. So I feel like you're overthinking the entire process, because if you want to be legit, the most legit thing you can do is just pay taxes. That's it. A lot of people, a lot of detailers talk about, oh, I want to be legit. So what does it take for me to be legit? It's pay taxes. That's literally it. Now you must, oh, well, what about insurance? Oh, insurance is a good thing. It's a good business practice. It's you being proactive in case anything happens. It's not illegal to not have insurance though. You know what is not, you know what's illegal is to not pay taxes, right? So like again, business insurance, important. Commercial auto insurance, important, right? If something happens and you don't have commercial auto and you're on a business trip and it's your company van or company truck, or you're using your personal vehicle for company time and you get in an accident, there might be some repercussions there, right? If you don't have insurance at all for your car, that is illegal actually. But what's illegal is not paying taxes. There's a lot of good business practices, like I said, like there's a lot of those, right? What's illegal is not paying your taxes, right? Even if you look at it, who was it? The mafia. You know, whenever in New York time when the mafia was alive in New York, you know, killing people, fraud, corruption, they got thrown in jail for not paying taxes, not for killing people or threatening people or corrupt. They got put in jail for not paying taxes. Okay. So that's really the main thing. But again, like in the beginning phases, like in your first several years or however long, like you're going to be running at a loss because, again, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying in general, you'll run at a loss in terms of, hey, I put in, you know, $5,000 in total between gas, insurance, tools, you know, website cost, bit of marketing spend, whatever. I'm just making an example here. I spent $5,000 and I made $4,000 back, so I'm at negative $1,000. So like you're not even profitable yet to be taxed on anything. So I definitely wouldn't overthink that. Again, the biggest thing here is like, go get customers and make money, and you'll figure everything out. You'll figure everything else out after that. If you figure out the LLC thing and the payroll thing and your tax guy thing, you still have no customers or aren't making any money. So the biggest thing that would drive everything forward in terms of, oh yeah, I have to figure out how these other things work, is going to be by getting customers and making money. Because before then, this is just an expensive hobby. Like you're just playing business, right? I'm not saying you, I'm just talking in general. You're just playing business and you feel like you're a business owner, but like you're not really doing anything. So until you get customers paying you on a consistent basis, this is just kind of smoke and mirrors, and like nothing's really going on that I would really say to be worried about. Now, one caveat here that I hear this all the time is that I really, it says here, I really try not to count friends or acquaintances as my only customers. And I was the same way. A lot of people are the same way where they're like, oh, well, I don't really see them as real customers because like I know them, right? Here's the thing though. If every friend and family member and acquaintance referred you to 3 other people, posted you on their Instagram or Facebook stories, or told their coworkers about you, you would now get a wave of customers that you don't know at all. So do not overlook your friends, family members, coworkers, or acquaintances, because that is your base. If you say, oh, well, it's just my friend, so I'm not going to post about it. I'm not going to do much about it. I'm not going to charge them, whatever. Okay, you are doing a big error by doing that. Because now what if, you can use your friends, family members' vehicles to take a bunch of photos or videos for social media content for your website. You can get your friend or family member to leave you a 5-star raving review, leaving a 2 paragraphs of text as a review. You can have them upload a photo when they leave you a review, right? Because reviews are a big component to Google business profiles being optimized and getting customers. So if you have, if you say, oh, it's only 3 friends, family members, and coworkers, acquaintances. Okay, well, go do 5 of them. Go do 8 of them. Because let's say it's not, and I'm assuming you're mobile, so like, it's not, oh, I'm gonna just go to my cousin's house to detail his car. It's like, okay, yeah, you can do that, but do you have your A-frame made? And you're going to put it in the driveway. That way, when you're mobile detailing, all the cars that are driving by are looking at your A-frame and saying, hey, mobile detailing going on. Like, oh, cool, look, this is a mobile detailer. We've been looking for one. Do you have yard signs to stick in the yard after the service is done? Say, hey, do you mind if you just leave it here until the next trash can person comes around and they can just take it away? Right? Did you go leave flyers, 3 houses to the left, 3 houses to the right of just leaving a flyer, not door knocking, but leaving a flyer with a promotion, right? So now what would it be? Oh, well, it's just my cousin. I'm going to go there, watch the car, and come back. Well, now you can get content for social media. That could lead to more customers. You can get photos for your website, which could lead to more customers. You can get a raving review on your Google business profile, which would significantly help your rankings and get you more leads. You can put an A-frame while you're working in the driveway. When people are passing by, they'll come up to you and ask for more information. You can leave a yard sign on their lawn if they're okay with that to get more eyeballs on it. You can leave flyers 3 doors to the right, 3 doors to the left. So now what is this free thing that you're doing? Or like, oh, it's just my cousin, so I'm not really taking it serious. Well, now you can create, 4 other opportunities for yourself of getting exposure and getting someone else booked in. So this is a really big misconception to have in terms of like, oh, well, it's just my brother, so I'll go do it real quick, but I don't really see them as a real customer. Okay, fantastic. But you still want to use them as an amplifier to the next wave of customers. Have them recommend you on their stories on Instagram or Facebook. Have them recommend you to their friends and family members, right? Like we can do so much more with what we have if we fully capitalize on that thing. And this could be applicable for everything, right? I'm not like, obviously we're talking about you just getting started and this person just getting started, but this is applicable across the board with anything, right? If you're spending money on Google ads and you're saying, oh, well, all these leads, like, no one wants to book with me. It's like, well, did you really capitalize on all the opportunities you can? Because, you're missing every call. You're taking over an hour to call back. You are not following up if they don't answer. You're not pitching your services correctly. So all these things are like, oh, you're not doing it optimized, right? You're not doing it in the best way possible. Yet you're complaining that you're not getting the results that you want, right? So is it oh, like I don't see them as real customers, or are you not fully capitalizing on what you can produce with what you're doing? So I would heavily recommend to rephrase your thinking when it comes to friends and family, because like one thing I've been wanting to do with a separate business altogether is I want to open up, right? Like quote, like in quotations, open up a different business and just sprint everything for 90 days just to show what the difference that can happen in terms of have your website fully done in 90 days. Go get 100 reviews in 90 days. Like go do like in the next 90 days, just literally hit the ground running every single day. Don't worry about the price. Obviously, like in the beginning, you'll charge something, but you're not really trying to be profitable because you're just getting started. Like nothing is in your favor when you're first starting. You don't have 5 phone calls a day. You don't have, 10 customers a week. You don't you're not spending $1,500 a month on marketing. Like you're not doing that yet. So the odds aren't in your favor in terms of, oh, well, I want to make sure I'm charging premium prices. Like, well, you're not a premium detailer right now. You're not a premium brand. So these first 90 days, like, hey, if you can write a list down of every single person that you know, and then include their siblings or their brother or their parents. So let's say like, oh, here's a list of like 6 people I know. Okay, but how many siblings and parents do they have? Okay, so now that 6 goes to 20. Okay, literally go detail each vehicle that they have. Go get 20 reviews. Go get 20 people sharing your stuff on social media. That's 20 times you can go to a driveway and put your A-frame while people are driving by. That's 20 yard signs that you have on the front lawn. That if you're going 3 ways this way, 3 ways that way with flyers, it's not going to be 20 different houses, but let's cut that in half. So let's say 30. Let's say there's 10 houses, 10 locations that you go to, and you go three houses down to the right, 3 houses down to the left, and you leave a flyer. So now that's 30 flyers that you're leaving. Again, what would seem as what we said here, I don't really count my friends and acquaintances as customers. Sure thing, but that doesn't mean that you can't fully capitalize on this thing that you're doing. So there's a lot more that you can capitalize on to really get the wheels turning. Let me see if I missed anything here. Yeah, no, that's about it. I don't want to go through more. But yeah, don't underestimate what you can do with your small base. Again, you might say, oh, well, there's only 4 people that I really talk to. Okay, well, they got brothers and sisters. They got siblings. They got a girlfriend or boyfriend. They got a wife or husband. They have parents. Go say, hey, man, like, let's say you go and do, let's keep it basic. You went to go do a maintenance detail, a wash and a basic interior cleaning, whatever that means to you, right? And you charge, I don't even care, $25 for it. And you say, hey, Bob, appreciate that. Hey, do you mind if I can do the same service for your parents? I wouldn't even charge you that much. It'll be $15. I just want the review, the photos, the videos. Oh, of course, man. Yeah, we'll definitely leave you a review, right? Like in the next 90 days, if you were to get 100 5-star reviews, your business would not be the same anymore. In terms of like, you would get more leads and calls within those 90 days. Like, no question about it, you would. But again, hey, like this is the level of action that you want to be at. Now, I will say, like, depending on where you live. Oh, Florida. There you go. On Florida. Depending on where you live, but here we said Florida. Technically the winter season is upon us, the quote unquote off season. So like, if you're, northeast, you get a real winter. Like it's actually cold over there. Like if you're in Chicago, Illinois, like you're actually cold. Chicago, Illinois. If you're in Illinois or New York or anything up north, like you get real cold. Whereas, in Florida, I don't know how it gets cold. Just, I don't know to the, like, it doesn't get as cold as Illinois, right? In Texas, we get cold, but we don't get cold as, Maine. So the off season, the winter season is going to affect you differently too. So like you can go and pass out flyers or go out detail, but as a whole, even if you're in Florida, like things will slow down during winter because it's not spring and summer, right? Like to some areas they might slow down, or it might not slow down as much, but the most busiest times will always be spring and summer, right? Because that's when the weather is nicer and the grass is going, the flowers are blooming, and it's getting warmer outside. So people just naturally want more of the detailing services or whatever service. Like this is our first tint season, so I'm curious to see like how the winter affects tint. But yeah, like the winter time right now might affect a lot of what you do simply due to based on how it is in Central Florida. Because you can do these exact same things that you're gonna do right now in springtime and might see much better results simply due to the weather and the buying power or the buying mentality of your area based on the weather. So anyways, I'll end it right there. I will talk to you guys on the next one.